The thin green line. With B.J. Raji in quasi-retirement, the former Packers nose tackle said his decision to walk away from football was a hiatus, not a permanent decision, and Mike Pennell out for the first 4 games for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. Green Bay's defensive line consists of Mike Daniels, Letroy Guion, and 3 players who've never seen a single snap of regular season NFL action: rookie first-round pick Kenny Clark, rookie 5th-round pick Dean Lowry, and former practice squatter Christian Ringo. Against a team that presumably intends to run the football a lot and in a place where the big guys will be wearing dark green jerseys in searing 90-degree temperatures, one has to wonder how the line will hold up. You just have to go based off what you've seen on the practice field and what you've seen throughout the preseason games, Packers defensive coordinator Dom Capers said at midweek when asked about the 3 youngsters up front. "Now's the time. We're going to have to depend on them being ready." The Packers do have the flexibility to use a couple of their elephant outside linebackers, Julius Peppers and Datone Jones, as emergency defensive linemen, and both players have served as inside rushers with their hands on the ground in the Packers nickel package. If those two have to be used in that role extensively against the Jaguars, though, it'll be a bad sign for the rookies' readiness. One of the things we try to do is have a lot of flexibility within our packages to accommodate different numbers at different positions. With this game nowadays, you never know. An injury or 2 here or there could really change the way you look, Capers said. "We've got guys there that have had experience of playing inside, so it does give you flexibility within your scheme." On the offensive, he has won 2 NFL MVP awards and a Super Bowl title, owns the highest passer rating in NFL history, and seems like a lock for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, whenever he calls it quits. He says he'd like to play between 6 and 8 more years. But for all Aaron Rodgers has accomplished, it's what he couldn't do last year save the season and his team in the wake of wide receiver Jordy Nelson's season-ending knee injury in preseason that gnawed at him. "Not that he's let on. I think we're all ready to get back on the field with the guys we've got and look forward to starting the season," Rodgers said simply. Don't be fooled by Rodgers' cool responses to questions about last year's disappointment. With the lowest passer rating of his time as a starter and the least productive full season numbers he's had in his career, Rodgers knows that as he goes, so goes his team. With Nelson back, Randall Cobb fully healthy, the addition of new weapon Jared Cook at tight end, and a cadre of wide receivers vying for playing time and Rodgers' trust, there is plenty of talent around him and behind him, if running back Eddie Lacy returns to form. And Rodgers seems to be taking a "the time is now" approach to the season, saying he wants the organization and his teammates to be all in every year. He's focused. That's the biggest thing, quarterbacks coach Alex Van Pelt said. He's getting into his in-season mode now where our meetings are more intense, they're more involved. More is expected now. Mistakes are unacceptable. I can feel that energy that he has and his command and demand of our offense. We expect him to play well. I wouldn't expect him to come out looking anything less than like himself. Inside job. Packers coach Mike McCarthy insists that he won't yield to temptation and move Clay Matthews back inside after committing this offseason to getting his best pass rusher back to his familiar outside linebacker spot. Remember, the scuffling Packers defense turned things around midway through the 2014 season by moving Matthews inside, where he remained virtually all of last season, when the defense had what was arguably the unit's best year since Super Bowl XLV. If McCarthy is telling the truth on this, and there's no reason to think he isn't given how Matthews spent all of camp outside, then he must have a ton of faith in his 3 largely unproven inside linebackers, rookie Blake Martinez, second-year man Jake Ryan, and Joe Thomas, who went from being cut on last year's final roster reduction, to the Dallas Cowboys practice squad, to being the Packers' dime linebacker most of last season, to winning the final inside linebacker roster spot this summer. Martinez is the only surefire starter at this point, and he'll be wearing the communication headset in his helmet as the defensive signal caller. With injuries depleting the inside linebacker group this offseason, Martinez got more reps than any rookie fourth-round pick could have hoped for. He parlayed them into a starting role, and now he must not only get his guys lined up properly but make some plays himself as well. I think you have to give him a lot of credit for his ability to communicate and understand, because that's a heck of an adjustment. You could see it in the OTAs, he picked it up quickly, McCarthy said of Martinez. We have a new communication process with DOM capers calling it from the box to the defensive players. That's why we spend the time that we do in the preparation phase. It's important for us to look at all those guys, Blake included, and make sure we're giving them the opportunity to be successful. That's the approach as far as what you ask them to do and how much you ask them to do, and communication is part of that responsibility. Among those Martinez has impressed, Matthews. Blake is being asked to do a lot. I didn't even start as a rookie when I came in, Matthews said. Especially to play at the inside linebacker position, having experienced it firsthand last year, there's a lot that goes into it. We're asking a lot of him, but he's proven throughout OTAs and throughout training camp and those first 4 preseason games that he's more than capable. There shouldn't be any drop-off, I don't think, where it's something we're going into games saying, this is a weak spot or weak position. Jason Wild.